Our final best of three for today. Who's going to win? I'm not entirely sure. I think TLO is the favorite here, but Vibe has a lot of potential.
Yeah,
he's had a lot of success. He's been training very hard. The screen is loading. We're going to throw that up for you. But this is going to be a big match here because the loser of this, as long as it's similar to our previous, the mistake best of three. Yeah, they're going to be eliminated. The loser will be from MLG.
You keep talking like Yoda, man. It's great. I can tell you're tired. When Tasus is tired, he talks in third person in Yoda.
Now, down here in the bottom right, a member of the team SixJax, we have our Zerg player, Vibe. In the upper right, we have our Terran player, TLO, a member of the team Liquid, and I think sort of a fan favorite here.
Oh, certainly. One of the most famous and popular players since he nuked someone in a Team Liquid tournament back in the beginning of the beta.
And he's used nukes more than once since then.
Man. Him and Box are in a race to see who really is the nuker.
Yeah.
Right.
Basically, TLO is like the foreign Slayer's Boxer. I think is probably the best way to think about it.
Yeah, that's a good way to do it. Now, Vibe, a very fast Zerg Tasteless, extremely fast high APM, practices a ton, very, very devoted, and he has improved like 1,000-fold since the beta. He has just gotten better and better and better, and he is appearing at the top of more and more tournaments.
Yeah, he's a very solid player, slowly improving over time, which I love to see. Kind of like Lin, in the GSL, he's always
just gets better and better.
Getting better and better, building the blocks up. Now we're going to have the barracks on the way and refinery after that. This is a big open map. There's a lot of different ways this game could turn out.
Now TLO not choosing to wall in, despite his opponent being Zerg. Kind of interesting. The gas not that quick. We've seen a ton of very fast Hellion builds on this map. Vibe in the meantime, taking a hatchery first. Pretty standard for Zerg here.
The drone continuing to scout around the map. And he will find TLO up in his base up here. TLO electing to not wall in, probably because he wants to save SCV travel time when constructing buildings so he can get a few extra minerals.
I think he's going to probably go for Reaper here. That's my guess. It would be a good reason to play like he has so far this opening. Really put down a tech lab. Starts at second Marine. That might be just to throw off the drone.
Yeah, he may cancel that.
And in fact, he does not. So he will be going for a factory, but not as quick a factory as we've seen almost every other good Terran do on this map against Zerg.
So here's the factory going down now. Meanwhile, back at Vibe's base, no refinery just yet. Rather extractor. The spawning pool almost complete, however.
Yeah, we might be seeing some Spanish wall style here. Just heavy, heavy, heavy drones. Very late gas. And that is a very powerful style nowadays, Tasteless. A lot of people have been doing it. TLO, in the meantime, back at his home base, is making the factory and a reactor. Look at that.
So, this is more of a gradual reactor to Hellions. It's not the same thing as what we've seen in, I think, the vast majority of the Hellion rushes that we've casted today. It's one where the Hellions are going to come out at more of an ordinary time. There's not so much of an element of surprise, as I think this strategy really is more about map control. Yeah,
this is definitely a better economy build than those other Hellion builds we've seen. He gets that gas a little bit later, gets a few more minerals out, and it's exactly what you said, Tasus. He's going to control the map a little bit with it. I don't think he expects to do a lot of damage to Vibe. Vibe will certainly be ready for this. He has queens, he has a spine crawler, and he's even spreading creep between his main and his natural.
The extractor does just now finish, and Vibe does just begin mining the Vespian gas. Reactor Hellions on the way. Second refinery on the way here. Yeah. Where do you think this game's going, Artosis?
This is a pretty interesting build so far, Tasteless. I mean, he's going Hellions. He continues to pump them out. Not really a lot of production buildings and getting a lot of gas. So definitely has a possibility to tech up into Banshees here.
Yeah, Banshee's definitely a possibility. He may make a starport right here where this empty tech lab station is. Hellions, however, down here near the Zerg's base. This may just cause the Queens to get out of position, so larva injecting not as easy to do. We're going to see, though, the Hellions parked right out here. He will also be able to deny creep tumors being expanded out, which, of course, on a map this big is pretty important.
That's quite true, Tasteless. More Hellions coming up here. Will he try to do any sort of harassment? Maybe run some in the side? And, wow, he just did exactly what you said, Tasteless.
How about that?
How about that, man?
How about that? So, Vibe basically continuing to larva inject, taking his extractor. Now he's going to have 3 extractors in just a minute. Meanwhile, you know, very gradual build coming from TLO. Looks like he's probably going to go for Marine Siege Tank push a little bit later on. You can put Siege Tanks out in this location, siege them up, use a medevac to spot over here, and sometimes we even see the hatchery get destroyed.
That's quite right. If Zerg does not deal with that just right, it's quite deadly. And the Hellions, nice reaction time by TLO, not letting that Queen get a swipe in. And we have some nice harassment going on now. In fact, he's doing a lot of damage.
He might even get the Queen here.
Looks like he in fact will.
He does.
Losing only 1 Hellion. Very nice move by TLO there.
That's not supposed to happen. Vibe can't be happy about that one. Spine Crawler on the way. Zerglings now gathering out here for a flank.
And nice move there by Vibe, taking out 1, but running away smartly from the other 2 as they were just a little bit too far ahead.
Vibe going to relocate his Spine Crawlers. Meanwhile, back at the Terran base, gathering up more Marines, siege tanks, preparing for an inevitable push we will see soon here.
Now we do have Baneling's speed being upgraded as well as a Spire being made. So Vibe is going to want to push his creep ASAP. You know, I think a lot of TLO's opening may have been about denying those creep tumors like you said, because Vibe, he is definitely a creep spreader.
And down here we do see the Spire on the way. And he's going to be doing a little bit of harassment with these mutas, but a push is coming, Artosis.
Indeed it is, and without that creep out there, it is going to be harder to deal with. He does have some Hellions still in the mix, so the Zergling's going to be a little bit less effective. More Zerglings being made, a 3rd base going down. And this is actually looking kind of scary from TLO.
It looks like he should be able to get this bunker up before the Banelings are going to complete. The Banelings actually, they could be hit by the Hellions if TLO does manage to get over there. These 3 siege tanks in siege mode. TLO getting a little aggressive here. He needs to get the siege tank up in siege mode before the Banelings hatch and attack.
Quite true. And Tasteless, this is a lot like some other builds we've seen TLO do in this tournament already. And it is pretty deadly indeed. Look at this. Walking up now. A lot of Banelings are coming in. A nice Zergling surround as well. Nothing in the bunker. Finally putting some Marines in the bunker. And in fact, he does not kill a siege tank. One of them is very red, Tasteless. And this is looking very bad for Vibe. He's got to be so careful with how he deals with this.
All right, Stim over here. Vibe's hatchery is in trouble. It is in range of the siege tank, as you can see. This does not give a lot of time for Vibe. Also, his expansion will not be able to have drones sent to it, as right now, you know, basically TLO is controlling the entrance of his opponent's base. Mutalisks are out. There are not a ton of Marines. In fact, there are not enough Marines. The Mutalisks actually might save the day here for Vibe, but he's got to stop these Hellions from destroying all of his drones here.
And 3 drones do die a fiery death there. Now the rest of these siege tanks should be cleaned up by Vibe very easily. Just needs to micro back a few mutas and... Oh, right there. Micro back a few mutas. Take out those Marines. Oh, the Queen does go down. But again, the siege tanks are fair game now.
And you know what? This is going to be a big blow to TLO. It's going to be tough for him to take an additional base. Siege tanks being wiped out here. And, you know, everything that TLO invested in is now lost. His turrets are going to be late. And the mutas will be free to do a ton of damage if Vibe can control them correctly.
You are so right, Tasteless. Those are too late. Only a few Marines there, but they are stimming out. Vibe killing off a lot of SCVs. And TLO, Tasteless, is in trouble. His supply is plummeting right now. The mutas getting out of there, not losing many of their number at all. 57 supply to 76 right now. Vibe in the lead with 38 drones to 37 SCVs. So actually, he lost a lot of drones. He could not make that many. And now the mutas coming in and killing some more Marines off.
And you know what, right now, TLO's base is not really well guarded. You know, if you park Mutalisks over the barracks, you can just kill stuff right when it pops out. These Marines are going to have to come back here and buy some time until this turret can complete over here. Meanwhile, Vibe does not look like he's done.
No, he's not. He's going to keep on harassing. He has that type of APM where he actually can go around, make his drones, make sure he macros, scout the map, and harass. You know, playing Zerg at a super high level, you really need to be a fast player, which he certainly is.
Looks like for now the turrets are up enough over here. The siege tank is a little bit out of position. We'll see if Vibe actually utilizes that situation.
Now the Muta's flying around a little bit on the map, seeing if they can find anything else to harass. In the meantime, just making more Mutas, getting his evolution chambers up is Vibe, and can he take out the tank? He does! Very nice micro there by Vibe, taking minimum damage for maximum reward.
Another splinter in TLO's paw, as he's going to be stuck in his base for a longer period of time, and he might even want to actually swap this off for another factory add on the Tech Lab, because he's going to need a lot more siege tanks if he wants to push anywhere on this map.
Certainly true, Tasteless. Also, Burrow being researched for Vibe. Ooh, a drop coming up. He does have Hellions in there, and the Mutas have not seen it. The Overlords have not seen it. This drop has potential.
He's coming in here. He wants to try to take out anything that's out of position. The drop is almost there, though. Nothing, no Mutalisks at least to defend back there. Now attacking the Tech Lab. Vibe needs to be paying attention here, because there are Marines up here in the front from TLO, and a drop occurring with these Hellions in the back.
And those drones may be roasted. Tasteless, he hasn't moved them quite yet, and here we go. The Hellions coming in and killing off a decent amount of drones so far, and now going after that player.
Nice job here by TLO, shooting down several of those Mutalisks. It looks like Vibe heard the sound effect of them loading up here. Hellions barely to survive here. Meanwhile, the Mutalisks chasing down TLO's medevacs, and right now they're not in a good place to unload.
Oh, 7 Marines left in that medevac, and Vibe kills both of them off. Just a few Marines left out on the map. Very nice play with those Mutas.
Well, it looks like Vibe's got a ton of Zerglings right now. He did manage to save a few Marines, but frankly, they're pretty low on HP. Vibe might be able to take them out, but Zerglings coming here to clean up the rest.
And Vibe is doing a great job, man. He's up by 20 supply. He's got his Baneling speed. He's got 1-1 going for his Zerglings. His Mutalisks, their harass has been quite nice. Already has +1 on those as well. Right now, TLO, kind of an interesting play. He's getting Blue Flame for his Hellions.
We do have some Baneling landmines here. That could be pretty interesting in a little bit. Meanwhile, Vibe expanding way down here in the far left corner.
You know, that's smart to expand very far away. TLO is going to have a hard time moving out at all, let alone to all the way in that bottom left-hand corner.
Well, looks like TLO is going to go and try to take out the destructible rocks.
Vibe might try to take out some of these Marauders. Does deal a lot of damage 2-1. Just being very active with his Mutas, trying to get in extra damage where he can.
This could be bad. TLO may not want to be out here.
It looks like he's going to flank. Stuff. And he is going to flank. Look at this. Comes in from behind with some Banelings. Very nice move. And in fact, he is going for broke, Tasteless. The Banelings coming in, taking out a lot of siege tanks. And can those Marines stop this? No, it does not look like it. Vibe crushing through TLO's defenses.
That very well could be game. He's next to the Terran production facilities. Pretty tough for the Terran to recover, from this situation. Marines and, if the tanks are just going to pop out and be killed right away. The turret destroyed, and TLO's base is in shambles as Vibe is just dominating this game after destroying that initial push coming from TLO.
More and more units just rallied out from Vibe. It's 62 supply to 113. Vibe almost doubling TLO's supply. And what can TLO really do from here? He's trying to build some Thors, but they are not even close to done.
And unfortunately, that one Thor that is out is destroyed, and GG. Vibe takes the first game, really outclassing TLO there.
You know, that was a very interesting game. TLO with that very aggressive push pretty early on. Had some Hellions, had some Siege Tanks and Marines. Did some damage to Vibe, but Vibe got those Mutalisks out. I don't think TLO was expecting Mutas at that time.
You know, he lost too many Marines when the Mutas popped out, and it was basically downhill from there. We're going to go to a little commercial break, but we'll be back with game number 2 with TLO against Vibe in just a little bit here at the MLG.